I love pilots with manners. They put their engines in idle before they come in for a landing. It's nice. Anyways, here's a continuation of my, book leaks. This is part of Chapter 8. Chapter 8, The Weight of a Knot. The boy had taken to the work faster than Corin expected, and by the end of the first week, Z was hauling rope without much complaint at all, scrubbing the deck without sulking, and even more surprisingly, listening. His hands were clumsy, but they grew steadier with each knot and each coil, each tar-stained line. Corin watched him from the quarterdeck, arms folded, letting the boy sweat. Freedom had put fire in Z's bones, and it showed. But freedom also had its cost. The wind picked up one afternoon. A sharp gust slapped the sails full. Corin barked no order. He wanted to see what the boy would do. And Z rushed to the rigging, his bare feet slapping the planks, and he tied off the main line in a practiced haste. Too practiced. Too quick. His knot looked right, but it wasn't true. Corin, he saw it at once. The loop was false, the hitch loose. He opened his mouth to call out, but the sea was quicker. The line slipped, the sail lurched, the mast groaned under the sudden strain, pitching against the stays. A chain of motion followed like falling dominoes. One yard arm twisted, another rope tore free, and the boom swung wide like a hammer on a hinge. Z froze. For half a heartbeat, he saw the end, the mast snapping sideways, tearing into the other sails, bringing ruin down on both ship and sailor. And before he could think any better, or anything clearer, he threw himself in the mast's path. His small frame pressed against the swayed wood, arms braced, teeth gritted. The force slammed him back, knocking the air from his chest. His feet skidding helplessly across the deck. It was a child holding back a flood. And then a shadow dropped from above. Corin came down from the rigging like a hawk, both boots striking the masts in a sharp double kick. The shock of it jarred the wood, bleeding its momentum just enough to let the stays catch. The mast, it tugged once more, then settled into place. Z, he collapsed, gasping, his arms trembling with the effort. The bruise was already forming across the shoulder where the mast had caught him, but the ship was whole. Corin landed lightly beside him, his boots ringing against the deck. He glanced at the boy, red-faced, battered, but unbroken. And then the mast, steady once more. A slow grin tugged at his mouth. "Stupid," Corin said, crouching down to meet his eyes. "But I've seen that kind of stupid before." He patted the mast with one hand as if greeting an old comrade. Courage will get you killed if you don't marry it to sense, but with his teeth flashing in the sun, I think that's the right kind of stupid. Z looked up at him, still panting, still dazed, and he didn't understand that smile. But something in it felt familiar, as though Corin wasn't looking at him but at someone else, long gone, whose ghost had just reappeared on deck. What am I at? 4 minutes? So it's too long for a short. But that's part of Chapter 8. I'm just figuring out how I'm printing it now. What do you think? It's a long time coming. Actually, just not what you think, but if you like it, follow along. It gets pretty interesting.